Hi guys, today I'll be sharing what I've heard of and feel about miracles. Now we all know that the laws of science, or rather the laws of universe, are constant, and it does not make sense for these laws to change for someone. But the question is that how much of the universe do we actually know? There can be certain things in the universe which we may not have even physically witnessed yet, or there can be certain things which we may have witnessed but we don't have an explanation for those things. Now in Japji Sahib, Guru Nanak Dev Ji says that there is not a single universe but there are multiverses, right? And there have been theories in science to prove the existence of multiverses. So if we go with the logic of multiverses, then do you think that the laws which are valid in this universe will be valid in other universes also if they exist? Where if and when we find out that those universes are there, what laws will be valid for those universes, right? And we must understand that these laws and concepts that we have right now, which are definitely true, no one can defy them, but they were found in this particular universe, right? And also in this universe there are certain things which basically are unexplained even now. Some examples are like, for example, astral projection, which is many people have experienced that, but there is no scientific reasoning behind that. Another example of such a thing is the phenomena of ball lightning. Now ball lightning is a beautiful thing in which basically you see spherical luminescent balls of lightning appear in front of you out of nowhere, and this is unexplained. We haven't been able to find out the reason or the factors which actually cause this. And another interesting thing to mention here is that in the April of 1877, in the Golden Temple, this phenomena of ball lightning did take place. So right inside the sanctum sanctorium of the temple, when the people were seated and the singing of devotional hymns was going on, then all of a sudden spherical balls of lightning appeared in front of the Guru Granth Sahib Ji, and people were astonished and no one was harmed. And even if you go today to the Golden Temple, then right there in front of the main gate, this incident is recorded and people think it's a miracle. Now in this regard, I'd like to talk about a paragraph from a particular book. Now this book is called Bandagi Nama. It's written by a person called Raghbir Singh Beer. In this book, the author describes his spiritual experiences and also includes the discourses that he had over his lifetime about spirituality with other people. Now one chapter in this book actually mentions about the conversation that the author, most probably the author had with the mother of the Sri Aurobindo ashram. Now the conversation says that the world is made up of innumerable planes of consciousness, and a particular plane of consciousness has its own laws. Now the laws which hold good in one plane of consciousness may not, or rather will not, hold good in another plane of consciousness, right? Depending on one's spiritual state and certain other things, one may belong to a particular state of consciousness. Now according to this terminology, what actually is a miracle? A miracle is actually a sudden descent, or we can say a bursting forth of a particular consciousness from a particular plane and its powers into a lower plane or a higher plane of consciousness. Now let's take some examples from the Sikh history of instances that are termed as miracles. Baba Atal Rai Ji was the son of the 6th Sikh Guru, Guru Har Gobind Sahib Ji. Once what happened was that Baba Atal Rai Ji was playing outside with his friends, and a person got bitten by a serpent and died. What Baba Atal Rai Ji did was that he went to that person and somehow revived him and brought him back to life. Now to all the people present there, this was a miracle. And even to us, when we think of it, it definitely sounds like a miracle, right? I mean, it sounds something so impractical and impossible. And some people even go to an extent to say that this is a fabricated story. It did not happen, right? But we must understand that Baba Atal Rai Ji belonged to a very high plane of consciousness. He was a spiritually sound, he was a spiritually aware and a spiritually advanced person. For him, in his plane of consciousness, certain things were possible and made sense, which did not make sense to the other people who were present there. So Baba Atal Rai Ji, being spiritually sound and aware, knew that the soul never dies and this body is like a cloth. The soul can wear it and discard it, right? So Baba Atal Rai Ji simply gave back the cloth back to the soul again. And he did this in a higher plane of consciousness, and when the effects were seen by the people belonging to a very low plane like us, when we hear of it, of the story, and then we feel that this is so absurd because the source of this action was in a higher plane, and we don't have access to the higher plane. We do not understand that plane well because we are spiritually not aware. So to us it sounds impossible, and we say it's a miracle. Now the story also says that Guru Hargobind Sahib Ji, Baba Atal Rai Ji's father, was very displeased with him after he got to know that Baba Atal Rai Ji actually brought back a dead person to life. So why was Guru Hargobind Sahib Ji displeased? Did Baba Atal Rai Ji break any law of the universe as such? No, that's not even possible, right? Guru Hargobind Sahib Ji actually told Baba Atal Rai Ji that tomorrow everyone will come back to us and say that just revive our dead, and it will basically disrupt the entire system of the planet. Because although the soul can come back, it is immortal, but within a particular body there is a preordained time for which the soul should stay. We also have other incident which is recorded in Gurbani, that Bhagat Namdev Ji actually brought back a cow to life, right? There is another instance in the life of Guru Nanak Dev Ji where we read in Bhai Gurdas Ji's verse that when Guru Nanak Dev Ji was in Baghdad, he actually took the son of Pir Dastagir on a multiverse trip. He actually made the little boy see certain other universes, innumerable skies and planets. And this happened after the conversation, or after the disagreement which happened between Guru Nanak Dev Ji and the people present there, when Guru Nanak Dev Ji said that there are innumerable worlds, universes, there is no limit to it. But people there were, the majority of the people there did not believe in this, and they said that, can you show that to us? And Guru Nanak Dev Ji took that little boy and basically made him see the different universes, the different planets, the different nether regions. So this is another incident which may sound like a miracle, but we don't know we can't even understand what level of spirituality, what level of awareness the gurus had. They were masters of spirituality. So these were just a handful of the incidents that I spoke about, right? There are innumerable other instances in Gurbani and recorded in history which we term as miracles. And to understand them, maybe we need to work on our spiritual state. Maybe we need to become more spiritually aware, to open up our intellect so that we may be able to grasp these things.